Hi friends, welcome back to Rustic and Lace DIY. For those of you who are returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your support. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Brenda and I am so happy you stopped by today. Today I just have an impromptu video for you, so I hope you enjoy it. So with all that being said, let's get to crafting. Okay, here's DIY number 1. So for this DIY, I use some tumbling tower blocks. I use this wood heart just to trace. I use this metal piece, this metal heart piece, and this metal heart piece. All of those metal pieces came from Dollar Tree, as well as that wood heart. So last year, before I started my channel, I saw at Hobby Lobby this metal 3 heart decor that I absolutely loved, and I wanted to try and recreate it. I did using some corrugated paper, but it didn't hold up very well in storage, so I decided I was going to try and make it this year with regular metal. So I took this roundish metal piece and I am just using a black Sharpie to go along and trace out that wood heart. Then I took these shears that I got from the garden section last spring from Dollar Tree, and they cut pretty easily through this metal. The hardest part was that, I'm cutting kind of through the middle part of the metal. So once I was able to get some of that excess cut away, it made it a lot easier. Now, if you're going to do this yourself, I totally recommend using some like rubbered gloves. Because I did end up cutting my little finger or one of my fingers. I just kind of poked myself. So as you can see here, I have a Band-Aid on my finger. But after I had that cut out, I just removing the hanger and then that bow from this heart that I got from Dollar Tree this year. And then I use my hot heat glue to kind of melt the glue that was had that little heart attached. I'm just trying to remove it. But I'll tell you what, guys, I don't know what kind of glue they were using these days, but it was hard. So I ended up having to turn it around because I couldn't get that other piece off. So then I just go over it with some Mod Podge to help the paint adhere. And then once that was all dry, I'm using my Waverly chalk paint in the color Lacquer. And I give all 3 hearts a good coating of that color. I would recommend afterwards to go over it again with Mod Podge. After that, I use my Waverly Antique Wax, and I'm just doing a heavy distressing all around the edge of each one of those hearts. And after that, I took some of these tumbling tower blocks that came off of the piece that I made last year. I just kind of ripped them off, and I am going to use them to attach my hearts together. So I was just kind of sitting, looking where I wanted to place them to make sure that the bottoms were all even. So once I have those tumbling tower blocks on, I just kind of set it where I want it, make sure that it's all going to work. And then I use some more hot glue to attach that second heart. And then after that, I'm going to do the same thing with the little heart, but I took 3 of these tumbling tower blocks and hot glued them together because it needed to kind of stick out a little bit more. As you can see there, I'm playing with it. Maybe I only did 2. I thought I did 3 here. I guess I only did 2. So then I just hot glue that to the bottom, and then I'm doing the same thing with hot gluing that heart right onto that tumbling tower block. That way it sticks out some. Then after that, I took some tumbling tower blocks, and I'm going to use these as the stand on the back. Now, I know you see some spots that are not painted. I do, after I have it on there, I did go over it with some more paint to make sure that it all was cohesive. And then after that, I just took the ribbon that was on my previous one, and I am just putting it on this one. Now, both the ribbon and the bow came from Dollar Tree last year, but I haven't seen that regular burlap ribbon at Dollar Tree for a while, but I still see the one with the lace on it. So there it is. I did add a couple of bows at the top where the hangers were. I think I might take those off and just put a little piece of red like craft stick or something behind it to kind of help cover those holes. But there it is. You have to let me know what you think about it. I really like it. If you would like to follow me on my social media, you can find my links to my social media account in my Linktree in my description box. And then here is DIY number 2. So for this DIY, I am going to use one of these wood shelves that came from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to use one of my chalk couture transfers. I love this love transfer. It is so stinking pretty. So I start off by taking some of that spackling, and I'm going to fill in those holes, excuse me guys, with that spackling. And then once it is all dry, I'm going to take my chalkboard paint. I believe I got this from Dollar Tree. It was either Dollar General or Dollar Tree. And I paint that whole board. And then once it was dry, I'm going to cut out my transfer. This comes in a set of 4, and you can just cut right between them. And since this is the first time I use that transfer, I'm just using my fuzzing cloth here, and I am going to fuzz my transfer about 3 or 4 times. That way the transfer doesn't stick too much to your surface, because you don't want to stretch out your transfer when you're pulling it off. If it's too sticky, it might stretch it and ruin it. Then I took my shimmer crimson paste, and after I give it a good stirring there, I am going to cover my love sign with this. Now with the shimmer paste, you do kind of have to use a little bit extra just because it is a little more translucent. But this is just so pretty. I just absolutely love the way this came out. Now, one of my subscribers asked me after I did my live a few weeks ago if I would show how to clean the transfers. So I'm going to show you that here in just a moment after I finish this part. So here comes the reveal, and this is just so rewarding. Look how beautiful that is. Oh, I just love it. So then I took it into my laundry room, and you just run it under cold water. I take a little, it's like a magic eraser, and I just kind of softly brush. Now you want to try to avoid getting a lot of water on the back. So you want to wash off the non-sticky side. And then once it's dry, I put the non-sticky side down on a towel, and our fuzzing mat on the back side has a drying part. So I just finished drying it with that and then just put it away. So here I just taken some of this trim that I got from Walmart at Christmas time, and I'm just wrapping it around the ends. And that's all I do for this one. And I just think it came out so pretty. I absolutely love it. No, it's not all I do. I did add some tumbling tower blocks to the back so that it would stand on its own. And I did paint those black as well so that they matched the back. And that's all there was for this one. And like I said, I love it. I think it's so pretty. I just love that transfer. You have to let me know what you think about that one in the comment box below. Okay, DIY number 3. So for this DIY, I am using one of these, I created the saying with my Cricut. I'm using one of these Grapevine hearts that I got from Dollar Tree last year. And this cross ornament from Hobby Lobby I got last year, and then this heart that I got from Dollar Tree this year. So I am going to start by removing the hanger. And then this sign originally is supposed to have Valentine's, like a tag on it that says Valentine's in the middle, but when I bought it, it was missing, which I was fine with because I didn't want it anyways. But I'm just using my heat gun here to melt the hot glue that was holding that sign in place. And it scraped up pretty easily, but then I used my goo off to rub the rest of it off. And of course it was taking off the paint, but that's okay because I'm going to paint over it. Then once that was done, I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ivory, and I give it a very good coating of paint all over the front. And I think I had to do 2 coats, if I remember right. Once it was all done, then I'm going to take my antique wax and I'm going to do some distressing. Oh, I painted the cross too. So I'm going to do some heavy distressing on the cross because I wanted it to look rugged. And then I'm going to do some distressing around the edge of that heart, as well as I'm going to use a small paintbrush to go through the crevices of that heart. And then I use a baby wipe to smear it in. If you're new here, I just want to take this moment to welcome you. If you enjoy home decor on a budget, holiday decor, thrift flips, gift ideas, and an occasional haul, then hit that subscribe button, become part of our family. I have my first video anniversary coming on March 5th, and I'm really hoping to hit 5,000 subscribers by then. I'm getting very close. So become part of our family, help me hit that goal, and make sure you like and comment on my video. That really helps my channel grow. So I took this grapevine heart. It had some like floral wire wrapped around it as well as a thicker wire. And I'm just untwisting that floral wire. And then there's a few pieces around it. Once I got it all untwisted, I was able to pull that bigger wire out. And then that way I could form it into more of a circle, although I couldn't get a real circle. It was a little more like an oval, but that's okay. I just wanted this to kind of look like a crown of thorns. So I took some of that floral wire and wrapped it around and just kind of twisted the ends out a little bit. Then I'm taking my saying that I printed out and I am just going to add it to this heart. And it says, "This is what love is." Now, last year before I started my channel, I was making some stuff for my home and I was trying out my Cricut for the first time. And I made a heart like this. And it says, it has John 3:16 on it with some antiqued Bible pages on the back of it. Anyways, so I kind of thought this would go well next to that. And this is just kind of what I came up with. I know there's a song that I've heard that I really love. It's called "This Is," well, "What Love Is." It's a Christian song. And so I just thought, this would be perfect to go with that one sign that I made last year. So that's where I got the inspiration from for this one. So after I get this, I was just still kind of trying to figure out how I wanted to place all of this. But once I got it all on there, then I'm just going to take that heart and I'm going to hot glue it to, the cross, hot glue it to my heart. And then I'm going to take that crown and I'm going to hot glue it. I show myself hot gluing it once there, but I did add some hot glue to the heart as well so that it had a more secure fitting on there. Then I took some of these, I think these are called Queen Anne's, but I'm not sure, or Baby Breath. I'm not sure what they are, but they were from Dollar Tree. I got them last year. They were in my stash. And I'm just going to hot glue a couple of these branches along the side. I just felt like it needed a little something more. So then I'm going to hot glue another one right on top of that. And then I took this SOLA wood flower that I had, and I am just going to hot glue that right on the bottom of the rose. And I just thought that really fit with the color of the love. Then I had this ribbon that I've had, you guys, I think I've had this since the 90s when I was really into doing rubber stamping designs. And so it was the perfect color to match that love. So I'm just using it as a hanger. I double knot it on the ends, and that's all there was for this one. Super simple, and I just love the way it came out. You have to let me know what you think about that one as well. Okay, so for the final DIY, I created this sweet little planter box. So I used one of these little wood crates that I got from the Dollar Tree, one of these chalkboard hearts from the Dollar Tree, some of these little heart picks from Dollar Tree, and then one of my minis transfer. So I started by taking off the hanger. And then I decided to paint this with my ivory color to match the rest of the items that I painted. And I give this crate a good coat of that all around the outside and most of the inside. I usually go about halfway down And then I fuzz my little transfer here. And oh, I didn't show this, but I did go over the stitch marks on that heart with my chalkboard paint. And then I am just going to add my little heart on, and I was just kind of making sure it looked centered. And I'm going to use that same shimmer crimson color, and I am just going to go over my transfer just like I'm doing. And oh, you guys, I just love Chalk Couture. It is so easy, and it just makes it look so pretty. In my Linktree, you will see a link to my Chalk Couture site if you're interested in purchasing any of these. Or if you have any questions about it, make sure and let me know. I'd be happy to answer. Then I took my Waverly chalk paint in the color Lacquer, and I took 3 of these little hearts, and I am just painting the hearts all over it and some of the stem there, because the stem was pink, the hearts were pink, and I just wanted this all to match together. So I am just going through and painting 3 of those. After that, I took some floral moss here, and I'm just using my little vegetable cutter that I got from Dollar Tree to slice through it. And I'm just going to push that right inside of that crate. And then I just start filling it with some more of these, this bush. I don't know what it is. I think of it as baby's breath, but I know it isn't. So I think it is called Queen Anne. It's something like that. So I like them. I think they're very pretty. So I just filled that crate up with that. And then I took these hearts, and I'm just kind of trimming down some of that pick that I know I don't need. And I'm just sticking 3 right inside of there. And then after that, I took that heart that I had created with my Chalk Couture transfer, and I'm just going to hot glue it right in the front. And then, of course, you know, there was the hanger there, and I wanted to cover that up. So I made just a little simple shoestring bow from some twine, and I'm going to hot glue it right there. And that's all there was for this one. Super easy, really cute. It could go on a tier tray or on a shelf, or wherever you'd like it. And you have to let me know what you think about this one and which one was your favorite. And guys, I am so glad you are here with me today. If you enjoyed today's video, please make sure and give me that thumbs up and comment. That helps YouTube know that you like my content, and it will help push it out more, which will help me get to my goal, hopefully by my anniversary. So again, if you're new here and haven't hit that subscribe button yet, please, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, become part of our little family. And with all that being said, guys, I will have another video on Wednesday, so I will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.